Hello everybody, Andy here from Glasssoft Ed, the #1 Kill Team channel on YouTube. Hey, welcome to day 3 of Kill Team Shadowhunt Slop. Let's do it. I'm going to read the narrative rules for how 2 boards work. If you want the full breakdown on the narrative, check me out here on, I think it's Monday. I've done the full read through. So anyway, firstly, they've done some really cool shots for this. So you've got like the top board, Volcus, and then below it, the bottom board, Tomb World. Really nice. I like how they do that. Hopefully in this article, they're going to explain to us how that actually works. I know that I complained a smidge when we saw the price of like, how do the boards work? What are the boards? Hopefully in this, they're going to tell us. Let's get into it, shall we? So, oh, no, hold on. Sorry. I'll be quick. Don't worry. That's what I, you know what I'm going to say there. Hey, if you're a subscriber, I'd like to give you a subscriber only benefit, and that's a big double hello. Hey, I've got affiliate links. Use them, please. If you don't like me, but you're here for literally the only person that will ever talk about Kill Team Narrative, we'll do a walk-on article reading of it. Obviously, there are other narrative channels that focus on that. Then use their affiliate links. Every YouTuber has affiliate links. It's free money, free support. And if you like Kill Team, check out both of these and you get money off with my affiliate link. Cool. All right. So let's get into it. So firstly, cool thing, cool video. Nice. And then we scroll straight down because the first paragraph is just a bit of fluff. So known as descent kill zones, these multifaceted battlefields mix the best bits of 2 entirely different rule sets to create an arena full of surprises. We won't sugarcoat it. They're a real challenge, as you'll need to juggle the specific rules for both kill zones and know how best to use your operatives on one or the other. You won't win the game by camping in your favourite half. Interesting. Each side uses a smaller board than usual, so your operatives aren't too spread out, with outside areas like Killzone Volcus folding their usual board in half, while close quarters area like Killzone 2 mode use a 6x4 grid, measured with the square tiles underfoot instead of the full shebang. Otherwise, you'll stick to the usual rules for that kill zone with the addition of a few key markers called entryways. So we can see, I think this is actually a very good picture to look at. You see this Volcus? It's a weird dimension, isn't it? These are the boards we're getting. They're showing us the boards. I can't say any more than that. These are the boards we're being given. That's the board you're buying if you're picking up Shadowhunt, okay? And you can figure out pretty distinctly what that means for the size of the board. They've said right here, it's Volcus folded in half. But why do you need the board when you can just play on your Volcus board folded in half? Good question. Okay. And then they show entryway markers, which is the 1, 2, and 3. We've seen these before, obviously, in their original showing off article. And we have these little tokens are the most important part of a descent kill zone. They're how you get from one board to the other, creating vital secondary objectives as operatives seek to control access above and below. When one of the entryways is in your control range, you can simply shunt to the corresponding marker for the low price of 3 inches of movement before continuing your move to the other side. So that's really cool. So it's not like accessible. I guess you could say it's advanced accessible terrain. It seems like you go to within control range, and then for 3 inches, you just teleport to the control range of the other marker. That's nice. Oh, and if we scroll up, do they have it on this board? Yes. If you look closely, I'll zoom in a bit more. You see there's a 2 here. Again, we've seen this before, but they've just explained how it works. So we see a 2 there, and then below there's a 2 in roughly the same kind of position. So we can assume that any of these 3 in control range of the 2 could, for a move of 3, end up within control range down here as well. That's cool. I actually like this. I like them just saying, hey, doing a thing costs this much movement. You have a move total, spend this much of the move total, and you do the thing. I really like that. I actually think climbing in general should be more that way. Yeah, I think that's good. For example, anytime somebody's like, oh, can I use this custom kill zone? I would always say, hey, just treat any climb action over a 2 as a 3. Done. Like, doesn't matter how high it actually is. Even if, everyone's got different terrain. If you want to play on a board that's got 8-inch high terrain or 5-inch high terrain, a bit more normal, just say it costs 3 to climb. There you go. Problem solved. It's relatively fair to most teams to do a 3-inch climb. As soon as you go to a 4-inch climb, there are some teams that can't actually make that move, and it's a bit of an issue. And 5-inch, oh no, you can always do a 4. Maybe not always. Anyway, those poor stunty dwarf teams, you can't. Right. So that's cool. 3-inch move tax, you're done. This still obeys all the normal rules for movement. So if an enemy operative is sitting on the opposite side of entryway to you, you can't just move past them like they're not there. That'd be rude. In such a situation, you can always charge through and give them a good hiding. And if you want to shoot instead, enemy operatives on the opposite entryway marker are valid targets. Asterisk. What's that going to say? What do we think? So long as you both have the markers within your control ranges, a gunfight through a trapdoor sounds like a riot. So I think what they're simulating there, it's not a case of you can shoot into and then out of it like it's a teleporter, that you're shooting into like a teleport hole, like a wormhole or something. It's more a case of it's an actual, think of it as an actual physical, like a ladder, right? So you get into control range and then you shoot down, directly down. So obviously you can only hit something that's in a very narrow corridor below it. I think that's actually really cool. There you go. Nice. Shooting from entryway markers, they're just telling us what they said there. That's fine. We don't need to read that again. And then the Kill Team Shadowhunt dossier contains 3 missions, each for both adversary ops, PvP games that include enemies who attack both sides, and joint ops, co-op games against AI enemies. Mission packs, which tell the story of an ill-fated expedition into a long-lost tomb where a horrifying entity slumbers in its sarcophagus. So we can assume they're talking about the Catan, which they said at the last Warcom, they're going to talk about tomorrow. And yes, the slop shall continue. Don't worry, I will read it. I assume they're going to give us the whole data card, which, although we've already seen in Spanish in the leak, we have not yet seen in English. That'd be interesting. If you remember all the way back to when we first revealed Shadowhunt, you'll have an inkling what it is. Oh, okay, that's them saying it's that. Yep, cool. The adversary ops missions in particular are a ton of fun, as the addition of roving Necron MPO turns the best laid plans into complete chaos. Mission 2 has each kill team racing to open a single vault door underground and hold it while Canoptech reinforcements swarm in, ramping up the stakes for each turning as each turning point ticks away. The last minute dashes for control can decide the game. And then we get a layout. So this is mission 2 of Adversary Ops. Adversary Ops, if you don't know, if you've never played it, as they just said, I don't know, that seems like a stretch. If you're watching this, you've probably played it, I feel. Or you're aware of it, what it is, and you have an interest in it. But basically, this is where you and another person are fighting, just like in a normal tournament game. But on the board are additional NPOs, so additional AI, and they interact with you. They have a rule system. We've seen it before, obviously, in Typhon and in Tomb World, where they can come to life and do stuff depending on your. They start dormant. If you go to within a certain distance, they come to life, or you attack them, they come to life, and then they interact in a way that makes sense, following the standard NPO threat rules. But we see here, so these are very clearly and obviously different sized boards, as we would expect. Over here, we do indeed have half a Volcus board. We have our stronghold with a 1, which goes down to a 1 on there. And again, this is the 6x4 grid, 6x4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I think this isn't, just thinking about it, this is not just a half size board. And the reason I say that is because a full size board is 6x7, isn't it? So you have, it is the same size in one direction, but then instead of just being half size, because you can't, they didn't want, because you cannot do 3.5 squares, that wouldn't make any sense. They've just gone with 4. So it's a bit more than half a board because it's on a grid, etc., etc. However, I believe the 6x4, this does actually fold down into 3x2. That's how it folds down. So they are still cutting along the board edges. So from this, we can tell that the Volcus is just folded in half. And then if you don't want to use this specially cut, almost 1/3 size board, or third missing, so 2/3 size board, you can just take your existing Tomb World and just don't fully fold out the end. Although, you can fully fold out the end. I just say don't go on that end 2 squares. There you go. That's good to know, though. And they've also given us the first layout. So if you're really hyped for this, you can already start, and you know what these circles are. Whether they're going to be 20 mil or 40 mil as an actual objective or as a token, we don't know yet. We can roughly see here. They look 20 to me, but I don't know. Doesn't really make a difference to your game. Let's be honest, if you're just having some fun. And you can play the mission 2 already. We have a marker here on the right-hand side, and we have some hatched areas. Who knows what those could be? But that's like a thing you can start to play right now if you want to do that. The book also includes 6 additional Descent Killzone maps to use in regular games of Kill Team, set up with 3 objectives so that you can use a wide range of mission rules from those found in the core book to the latest approved ops card pack. You can even take the concept and build your own maps using any 2 kill zones you like with a little elbow grease. A Killzone beta decimal board on top might represent hanging gangways above a busy manufacturer below, with clouds of industrial smog obscuring shots between platforms. We'd love to see what you come up with. That would be super cool. I agree. That sounds really fun. People should do that. I feel like, anytime you're on the gangways, is that what they're called? Yeah, probably. The platforms of Beta Decima, you are on there, and then when you drop down, you just go to the other board. I think that'd be quite fun. That'd be really cool. You don't have to have just the specific markers to swap between boards. That'd be fun. Kill Team Shadowhunt goes up for pre-order this Saturday, as we know, and includes 2 smaller boards perfectly sized for Descent Killzone games, as if we planned it all along. Lovely. There you go. That's cool. Is there anything else to add to this? Yes, actually, there is. So as I was reading through this, I thought it was quite interesting that they mentioned here maybe, that the entryway markers, is that what they're called? Entryway markers almost act as secondary objectives because they're very important to hold. That's quite interesting. And I think that perhaps that sort of gameplay would be really interesting to bring over to competitive Kill Team. Maybe that's something to look at for the next approved ops if we think that just straight up 3 objectives is too much. Maybe you want to be able to put down more objectives in some way, in certain maps, in certain missions, etc., etc. Although, now that I'm saying it, I'm taking it all back, because in essence, secondary objectives are TAC ops, but we've just been conditioned to not call them secondaries because of how the primary op works. And, if you're taking plant beacons, not that exists anymore, there are others, steal intel, whatever, then you are, or plant banner, then you are in essence setting up a secondary objective that is fixed on the board that you do want to pick up and do stuff with. So I take it back. That already exists, but you just get the option of ignoring it depending on the TAC op you pick. And there you go. That's the end of my reading. Thank you for coming to Shadowhunt Slop Day 3. If you made it to the end, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. Do consider checking out any of my affiliate links for both retail and also discount codes off, Crossfire and GG Easy. And just for your own amusement, whenever you watch this, or maybe a day later, 24 hours, check out how many views this video has compared to how many views the Celestians and the Murder Wing videos have, just for your own reference as to why people are watching and why people are probably playing different types of Kill Team. Everyone's excited for new teams. How many are excited for narrative? Even when I think this is actually pretty cool narrative, The Test Force Expedition, I felt, was less interesting. This is quite interesting, I think. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. Have a good one. Goodbye.